Hey guys, how's it going today? Jack Kelly back here with you on the video blog. I want to thank you for joining me today. I want to jump right into our topic of the day today, and we're going to ask a question and see if we can answer it the best we can. And that's just how important health and fitness is to being an active member of society. It's a question that's been thought about a lot, and I hope we can provide a little different answer for you here, maybe clear some things up, and hopefully look at some things that you might not normally think of when you think of this topic. The first thing I want to look at is how health and fitness relates to your career. Let's say you have a career right now. If you're a fit person or a relatively fit person, obviously nobody can be totally fit, but if you're a relatively fit person, you're going to have a stronger immune system and thus miss less days, take less sick days, and be at the office more and thus be more productive. That's going to lead to a greater advancement in your career. It's going to lead to better opportunities, promotions opening up for you because you're more productive and because you can be in the office more than somebody who's less sick, or less fit and more sick. Second thing I want to look at on the career, and that's if you have a career. Maybe you don't have a career. Maybe you're new into the workforce. Maybe you're just jumping into the workforce. Like it or not, the fitter person in a contest between who's going to get a job is likely going to get the job. Whether that's the way it should be or not, that's the way it is in society. A fitter person, a person that looks more of the part, is likely going to get the job. So that's certainly a way health and fitness can benefit you. Another way I would look at it is with your family. We all want to be around for a long time. If you're a healthy person, you have a much better opportunity of seeing your grandkids and maybe even your great-grandkids someday. You'll certainly be around to experience those memories. You'll at least have a better chance to be around and experience those memories if you're a fit person than you would if you're a non-fit person. So that's another thing, and that jumps into the last thing I want to talk about, and that's fun. Fun's a good old-fashioned fun, right? Whether it's going to the beach and not being embarrassed to take your shirt off, playing basketball in the driveway with your kids and not worrying about throwing your back out. Being a fit person allows you to do many more things than you could be if you were sedentary or not fit. Look at your friends. Maybe they want to go out hiking for a day. If you're a fit person, you don't have to worry about staying with them, being in shape. You'll be right there at the front of the pack. You'll be leading it possibly. Playing golf is easier. You'll be more flexible. Just everything that revolves in fun will be more fun if you're a fit person. Okay, so we got that question answered. And I hear this a lot at the gym I've worked at, particularly from more middle-aged people. But that's just a question of, okay, I understand that health and fitness is very important. I understand how important it is. I just don't know exactly how to institute it in my life, how to make it a part of my daily routine. And that's a fine question. And it's certainly the second prong of this. And the answer is twofold. The first thing and the most important thing is you've got to get your nutrition under control. The 80-20 rule when it comes to nutrition. 80% of your body composition is determined by the foods you eat. You truly are what you eat. If you want to look more fit, changing your diet will have more of an impact on that than going to the gym. I know that sounds crazy. It's contrary to everything you've been told, but that's the absolute case, and this is the fact of the matter, okay? So what foods are we going to eat? There's such a stigma about dieting out there that you got to cut out anything that tastes good. I've watched a lot of Jack LaLanne videos lately. I've been on a little Jack LaLanne kick. And one of his rules for eating is if it tastes good, spit it out. We don't have to go quite that far, okay? There's a lot of good foods that are approved on my diet plan that taste very good. Fresh fruits, lean protein, a couple fresh picked strawberries. Is there really anything that tastes better than any dessert? Does a piece of caramel cake taste any better than the freshest strawberry you can find? I don't think so. So what kind of foods can you eat to improve your nutrition? The first thing you want to look at is just eating real food. That's lean protein, eggs, fish, fowl, steak, stuff like that. Chicken, another example. Fruits and vegetables. The fresher the better. Certainly fresh fruit and fresh vegetables are certainly preferred over canned or any other kind of chemically modified vegetables or fruits. Another thing you throw in your diet, nuts. Nuts are a very tasty snack you can have, a good addition to any meal. Roots, seeds, oils, nut butters. The possibilities are pretty wide-ranging. You don't have to give up anything that tastes good to be on a diet. Eat real food. Now, what does that not include? It does not include grains. That does not include sugars. Even whole grains. I know the government's championed them for so long that everybody seems to think it's a foregone conclusion that whole grains are the healthiest thing in the world. But that's just not the case. For 90% of our existence, more or less, we've lived on this earth for 100,000 years. 90,000 of those years, man has survived without grains. The Egyptians introduced grains into society, the death rate plummeted or skyrocketed. Go figure. Grains just are not healthy for you. Your body's not adapted to eat them yet. Maybe in another 10, 15,000 years, we'll be able to eat grains. It'll be an essential part of a good diet, but right now that is not the case. The second thing is sugar. Gary Taubes, the writer of Good Calories and Bad Calories, Why We Get Fat, a couple great books there. He had an article in the New York Times last week, it might have been the New York Times Magazine, regardless, it was called, Is Sugar Toxic? Fantastic article. And really what it discovered is it didn't really come to a conclusion, but it kind of left you to draw on whether sugar should be put in the same category as alcohol, cigarettes, other drugs of that nature. Is it really a bad thing for your body? I certainly invite you to read that. It's a great thing, but sugar is something you got to cut out of your diet. Look around when you go out tomorrow or tonight or whatever. Look around. Look how many people just look like sugar. They look soft and doughy instead of lean, powerful, strong. Sugar will do that to you. I'm convinced that sugar is behind the obesity epidemic in this country. Cut the sugar. Just try to cut the sugar out of your diet as much as possible. And there's a real good way I've found to do that. Before you put anything in your mouth, every time you put the fork down on the plate or you put your hand on a piece of food, before you put it in your mouth, ask yourself the question, why am I eating this? What nutritional benefit can I derive from this? Is my body going to have from this? That's a very important question. Let's say you're eating a piece of lean meat, lean protein of any kind. You can say, this is going to help my body repair my muscle cells, build some more muscle. And let's say you're eating a piece of some lettuce or some berries. You can say, okay, this is a good carbohydrate, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals loaded in this. Very good for me. Same thing with nuts. Okay, this is a good fat. It's going to help give me energy. It's going to help repair my body after a tough workout. A ho-ho or a Twinkie, they just don't really fall into that category. Okay, there is no nutritional benefit derived from a ho-ho or a Twinkie. For the next week, I want you to try this. Okay, for the next week, anytime you have the urge to grab something sweet, usually after dinner, sometimes throughout the day, grab a piece of fresh fruit. Berries work great for this. I think you will find that they taste better and are certainly more nutritious. The empty calories will be gone from your diet. You'll watch the weight fall off. That is one heck of a strategy I found to lose weight. But nutrition isn't the only part of it, okay? The other 20%, exercise. Very important, okay? The most important thing with exercise, especially if you're not on a regimen right now, is just to start it. That's the sticky point for a lot of people is they don't know how to just start the exercise. Do anything. Go to the gym, jump on the Stairmaster, the treadmill, even the elliptical if you want. Any movement is better than no movement. Now, I would like you to find an exercise regimen that I think is a little more preferable and a little better for your body, and we'll talk about what that is here right now. Find functional movements. Pull-ups, push-ups. Certainly there are certain weightlifting exercises that are very functional. The power clean, the squat, everything like that. Mix those in with your running and your rowing and your biking and come up with as many different combinations of those as you can find. Variety is the best thing you can do for your exercise regimen. It will continue to test your body in different ways, and you won't get bored. I mean, working out is fun if you change it up like that. I like to call it the 3 sets of 8 routine, and I think that's the worst way to go about it. What these health and fitness magazines will have you do, it'll get you on a 4-day-a-week program. Upper body one day, lower body the next day, 3 sets of 8 reps on 6 exercises, you're done. That's just so monotonous. And your body just does not respond to that the way it will a properly programmed exercise regimen. So that's the second thing, okay? The last thing I want to talk to you about, guys, is kind of the one for the road here. You're building a lifetime program here, okay? There is no finish line. I teach a 6-week class down at the Recreation Center. And it's only 6 weeks. Some people think of that as the finish line, but that's just not the case. Another thing I see is that people miss a week of the sessions. They think all is lost and they can't come anymore. That's just not the case, guys. Whether it's with your diet or exercise, if you slip up for a few days, a week, a month, just get back at it. You're doing this for the rest of your life. There's no finish line on this, guys, okay? Thanks for joining me today, guys. We'll see you next week.